It takes a little work to make a big hero.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Grahatia, Scion Reborn, the backup commander from the Final Fantasy XIV Commander Precon deck. Grahatia wants you to cast non-creature spells so he can make tokens and put counters on those tokens. He also has lifelink because you do need to pay life in order to make those heroes. So gaining that life back is something you'll need to do in this deck. So this deck has a little bit of life gain, especially when things are entering play, and a lot of non-creature spells, so you can trigger Grahatia and maybe double those spells with various enablers. In this deck, I'm playing a variety of non-creature spells, whether those are planeswalkers, especially ones that can give lifelink, or playing just mana rocks to accelerate into powerful cards like the Virtues or Season of Weaving, which can bounce everything except your tokens. We can even play some card draw based on getting tokens with Caretaker's Talent. Because we're in Esper colors, I have access to counterspells, removal, and card draw. And of course, I am playing all of those because that is a great way to keep going once Grahatia is in play. So let's take this cat into the queue and make some real big tokens. Genova, Ancient Calamity, turns things into mutants, and those mutants, if they die on their turn, will draw you lots of cards. Genova also makes your creatures bigger based on her own power. So if you can put counters onto her, she'll put more counters onto everyone else. I've got some turn one like Swords to Plowshares. I'm actually going to throw down this Ghost Vacuum since the cards they'd be playing, I can wait a turn to remove. If it's not like they didn't turn one Llanowar Elf, we're fine. Nice. Wildwood Scourge, as they play more creatures, they're going to get more counters. I kind of like just tossing down Ramp this turn. It's not Ramp I can use right away, since it's one of the signets. It's the only signet, I think, in this deck, is the Orzhov one. Tumblewag puts a counter on itself, which causes this to get a counter. Tumblewag, I'm going to say, is one of my top priorities for removal in this matchup. Since it can not just put counters each turn on that, but also double counters. Do I want to pay some life? I have decent fixing right now, but I don't have enough blue for everything in my deck. So I will grab Watery Grave. Playing Grahatia. And in Swords to Plowsharing, the Ornery Tumblewag. I will also, yes, pay life to get a guy. Glissa. Not actually doing anything with counters, but an incredibly hard creature to deal with. If you want to block it, good luck. I have a way to exile her, which is helpful, and I can even cast it on their turn, which gives me a kind of bonus here. So I'm going to play Case of the Uneaten Feast. Yes, I would like a little dude. Awesome. And then I'm going to just pass back to them. So I can only trigger Grahatia once a turn. That's probably to stop dumb infinite combos where you make a creature, it turns into mana somehow. I don't know, like Pitiless Plunderer, and you can just keep casting and casting and casting. But with Wandering Emperor, I will also be able to make one on their turn, a bigger creature, possibly big enough to even stop a Scourge. And since it's exiling, it will not be drawing them a card, except for the whole, that's a Phyrexian Tower. Yeah, okay, well, that's a Phyrexian Tower. It means they can sacrifice it and draw cards. I'm still gonna do it though. Maybe they'll swing in with the Scourge too. Probably not. Hiya, Glissa. I would like a token. Ow. At least I'd be able to eat it from the graveyard. I have this in the deck because it's a cheap graveyard piece that ends up sometimes making you a ton of tokens that, or not tokens, but copies of things that can win you the game. So I don't gain the life. Glissa's in the grave. Glissa goes to exile. Yeah, I put this in here as just like, it's like low enough cost. It's removal, it makes tokens, it's good with tokens. I'm going to play Tezzeret's Gambit. Full cost. I will pay the life, making a token, gaining one back, and proliferating. Yeah, that's a lot of counters. We love that. Maybe I should have put a counter on Tia first. But I wasn't sure what I wanted to play. Still not entirely sure what I want to play. Yeah, I should have done that with the proliferate. This is fine too, though. I'll swing in with all of these. And since they have Sacrifice on demand here, that's pretty nice. Keys to the Uneaten Feast, I could have solved it that turn, but I don't actually have creatures to bring back. This is just a non-creature 1-mana way for me to gain life off the tokens coming in. That's why it's in the deck. Over like just playing every single Soul Sister. I have Guide of Souls in here too because it's busted broken in half. If you put a counter on anybody else, it also would have given the counter, right? Oh, no, I see. It's because it's proliferate. Sorry, I thought that was from the Genova. No, there we go. Wildwood Scourge, you want to come in? I got a 6/6. Nope. Post-combat, they're sacrificing Evolution Sage, drawing a lot more cards. Geez, that's so many cards. And binding the Old Gods, killing... Grahatia in response, Arden Vale Fealty. I would like another token. I will pay 2 life, gain 1 back, gain another one, because I made a token from that, and then put the Evolution Sage into exile. And with an ever-growing board, I'm establishing myself for a good swing and a win next turn. GG. Manon, the right hand lets you play off the top of your deck and tap your artifacts for mana, but only to play things from outside of your hand. I suspect that they are probably a Paradox Engine combo deck. Now, don't ask me what gives me that idea, other than that I actually recently built, as part of my subathon incentive goals, a reality chip deck that does exactly the same thing. The alternate commander for it is Manon. A Mind Stone. I know I could save that as removal. But I must ramp! So I can play my cat and then another spell in the same turn, please. Thanks. Tome of the Infinite. They're a Paradox Engine deck. And to think, right after I take the Farewell out of the deck. It is a land. It's not the land I crave. So I'm going to use Mishra's Bauble to make a Bumble. See what's on top of their deck. Islands! Look, I don't have to pay any mana if it's a free spell. This is generating free spells from the spellbook for them. They're all good. It's just silly that they're there. Yeah, like that. Hi, Dark Ritual. Hi, Manon. Yay, gaining me life back. Thanks, Authority of the Consuls. Yes. All right, so I'm going to play this and decline making the 3/3, or 4/4, I guess. So I can kill Manon, or try to. If they got Force Spike, well, screw me. Well, screw me, I guess. They got a free counter spell off that. I was just thinking like, oh yeah, and then I get to draw off a Caretaker's talent. Oh, and you got Swords to Plowshares that time. Help. Using Get Lost on them is kind of weird because it gives them more artifacts to tap for mana to cast from the top. Do I care much about triggering Grahatia this turn? I think I could do this turn as a setup turn. Copy my silly little 1/1. Talisman. Oh, not that. Tell them to get the heck out of here. Hey, Lost Hub, thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you for subscribing at tier 2, advancing my subathon, and helping support the stream. I appreciate that a lot. We have the same life total as them. They just have card advantage from this. Also from their commander eventually. Again. Oh, Temporal Anchor. Is that the scry? And then, yeah, you can play the cards you scry away? Huh. It costs 6 mana. It's gotta be worth getting rid of. Playing one of my lifelink enablers. So there are 3 different lifelink enablers kind of available to this deck that I think are really good. And I was running all 3 and I cut down to 2. I cut Erebos' Whip, even though it is non-creature, making it better for Grahatia, just because I don't have a lot of other creatures to reanimate, and it's kind of hard to cast with double black. The other one I have is Sorin. You can also put Teysa in, but I think she works better the more tokens and token sacrifice stuff you play. I just make these all bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Embiggen. Oh, I could have played Risco first. Miscounted that. Get him. Have I mentioned recently that I hate Tome of the Infinite? Oh! It was Mrs. Lost Hub and Lost Hub both subscribing. Thank you both. Thank you, Lost Hub. You wouldn't happen to have second fog, would you? I'm just gonna go ahead and try to grab that. They're gonna steal an instant or sorcery from my deck. Now they could hit a counter spell. They actually hit an exiling spell, Obtruse Appropriation. This also lets you cast the Solan permanent if you can pay the mana for it. You can also use colorless mana, like what you would get off the Mind Stone. So they hit their own Tome of the Infinite, so they'd be able to recast it. I don't think I have anything to bring back. No, I don't. Cold Steel. I still think that, like, for Tome of the Infinite, you should have to discard a card for it. Because, like, then you could, like, keep discarding the card you conjure, or it gets, like, discarded at end of turn. There's a lot of options for it. I'll play Risco. Scourge of All. And they're Chaos Wanding again. They hit a board wipe. RIP tokens. Risco's a good way for me to sustain my life total. Not that they've dealt damage to me, because as we said before, they are a combo deck. As I'm casting spells and dealing damage to myself. Yeah, Chaos Wand is fun. I'm not going to deny that. I like Chaos Wand. Tome of the Infinite returns. At least now I have creatures I could recast. Hey, Soren, we were talking about you before. We are going to pay 4 life, draw a card, gain life back, big token. Chaos Wand, what do you got? An X-cost board wipe. I mean, you can make 0 mites, I suppose. So I've got 5 damage here. Bringing back the Envoy doesn't get me anything other than more life gain. That's not what I need. And then 6, potentially 7. So I'm going to go for lethal here. And I'm actually hoping they do try to fog. Okay. They have no more mana. We throw fog back into their hand. Rusko does 1 damage. We deal 5 more and plus on Soren for the final ping. And that's GG. The Gitrog monster. The Gitrog monster will be putting lands into the graveyard and drawing cards. I've got life gain, tokens, some ramp, some proliferate. These should all work. Turn 1. A land's already in the graveyard. Is it going to be turn 1 Llanowar Elf? Delighted Halfling! Well, that's going to nullify some of my counter spells, which is rude. But I don't actually have any counter spells in my opening hand. I'm going to go for white, black here. I love making my number go down. Hopefully I can make it go back up. I do have Rusko in this deck to gain me life when I'm casting those non-creature spells. If you're like, Amy, why him? I'm paying a lot of life. Ideally, I am hurting myself with this deck. Oof. I can make a token here, but that's pretty minimal. So I'm going to hit either their Hobbit or their Provisioner. They're going to drop the Hobbit here. This is just so much mana, especially when they get this out and they can play additional lands. With a fetch land this turn, I think they would have actually been able to play Gitrog and still had 3 mana left over if they had another fetch. We got a Braids here. They can sacrifice that and I'll lose some life. I've got the ability to play Grahatia, but do I think he'd survive? Some people are very feisty when it comes to killing him. I'd like to play him and be able to play something else, but I know I'm not always going to be able to do that. So I'm going to play Orzhov's Signet and pass the turn. Orzhov's Signet lets me potentially make a token. Blocking a Tireless Provisioner, maybe? It would be really nice. It would be really nice. Hello? Oh, I wonder if they just didn't get a land. They did draw an extra card there. Oh, interesting. I wonder why they wouldn't bestow that on Provisioner. Please attack. Yes! Alright, that's exactly what I wanted. I gain a life. And then I block that Provisioner because I am terrified of it. I'm very surprised they didn't bestow it on the Provisioner. I wonder if they clicked wrong. We've all been there. Okay, they reanimate this. It comes back. I've got a board wipe, which would be nice, considering how few things they have out here. Which would mean not going for Grahatia and like Grahatia making tokens. Instead, I guess I can either play the File or play Rusko here. I don't mind him dying. And he comes with a Mana Rock, which is nice. He's also blocking. I only have 13 life left. Look, I can even proliferate my clock counters. They've got a conduit of worlds, allowing them to replay things from the graveyard. And yes, we're gonna have to fire this off and get rid of these as soon as possible. These are very much problem cards. Also, they can sacrifice creatures and force me to sacrifice creatures. I mean, I really don't need Rusko around, though. So if they don't attack, if they do attack, I'm just going to trade. Since I'm planning on board wiping anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my doublers out, so I can't go for, like, the double token. Oh, but they're just killing him. Rusko has perished. And I'm not able to sacrifice, like, an artifact for their artifact, since I do need all of this mana. It doesn't matter. I went for creature. And Sunfall. I have only 5 life left. This is really rough for Grahatia. Where's my lifelink givers? I swapped out Whip of Erebos in the deck just because it never showed up. It's also kind of tricky where it's like, yes, it's a non-creature, but I have so few creatures in the deck. If only it could steal. A girl can dream. Yeah, this will give me a tiny bit of life. It's good with, like, the 1 mana spells, especially. If I get a land, I should be able to line up making multiple tokens, at least. Once they're done doing landfall things. Yeah, the Conduit of Worlds plus Gitrog is, happening. Okay, yep, there's a land. That's good. So I want to make sure it's using the Signet. It is. Grahatia. Gain a life. Arcane Signet. Lose 2 life. And now I want to pass the turn. Next turn, I will be able to either animate this or proliferate. Okay. They're pushing it. They'll sacrifice a land and then bring it right back. Oh, Vraska. I need to have blockers, and I don't want it to be that one. So bring that out. Ghost Vacuum's actually okay, but I can only hit 1 land at a time from their graveyard. I might want to go for 1 ring instead. We proliferate. R.I.P. Grahatia. Grahatia will live! And I can block the frog with my freshly made hero. Three life. Caretaker's Talent. But with this as my 1 token remaining, it's not a good one to double because it's actually a 0/0, making it not very useful to me. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't Grahatia and make a token, so I think it's gotta be a 1 ring turn. I will play the Phial of Galadriel into the 1 ring. And I will sacrifice my blood to try to get another land. They have so much more mana than me. One ring, buy me a turn, please. An iridescent vine lash. We're gonna turn landfalls into damage. Nice. Vraska, would you like to eat your Llanowar elf? We'll lose a life. At least they don't have like a fetch that they're holding up. I'm actually surprised they didn't do that to kill me. Ocelot. Yay. I gained a life. Virtue. Make the cat, and then make it grow, and gain some life, and gain a little more life. So they have, like, off-pooted Delta coming in twice. A lot of damage there. I'm holding on. I'm trying. This is already almost over. And now it is. GG, Get Rog Monster. Frodo, determined hero. Frodo, are you tempted by the ring? No, but you do equip things for free. And also attack without taking damage. That's pretty nice. He's still killable though. I'm gonna kill this Frodo. I will end him. Okay, Sting, Mox Amber, Sword of Truth and Justice, and a Citizen's Crowbar. I'm going to hit the Sword of Truth and Justice. It's either that or a Mox Amber for me. Sting is really cool. It gets you additional, like, untaps. So if you have, like, tap-activated abilities, you can go crazy with them. I was hoping they would play Frodo so I could obliterate the Frodo, but they know that. And I'm just going to grab a Surveil land right here, right now. Shadowy Backstreet. Swords to Plowshares. I actually think I have enough, possibly too much, single target removal here. Yeah, this is not a practical crowbar design. But look at how pretty it is. Behold, a cat boy. They can discard, like, even Citizen's Crowbar and just bring it out for free. At least they can't get the Sword of Truth and Justice out, because that gives protection from 2/3 of my deck. The white and blue thirds. Hi, Frodo! He enters. He gets Sting. Sting gives him haste. He untaps. He wasn't tapped. He gets the Sword of Vengeance! And hits for 5. I make Frodo small. And I make a 3/3 hero. I guess I'm making colorless heroes in this deck, though. That's helpful. Sting untaps nobody for no bun. No bun. No one. This also gives haste, by the way. Welcome back, Frozen Yogurt. Sorry, somebody in chat called him Froyo. I feel like they should be starting with the one that gives vigilance. I feel like I'm gonna be wiping the board. But also, I don't wanna. Interesting prospect there that I don't wanna. I'll attack in with Grahatia. Oh, I guess I won't gain any life from doing that. And I'll wipe the board. No, I'm not paying the life. No, sweetie, no. Mr. Meow Meow? Sorry, Grahatia. They had a flipped saga and Frodo is big. Oh, hi, Iron Crag. I kind of like getting down the Elspeth this turn. But it gives me a chance that I might not actually be able to trigger her. And I really want to. I want the big doubles. I'll pay 0 life to make a 1/1. I really like the free spells and like the 1-mana spells with Grahatia. Danitha, I believe, brings back an aura or equipment from the grave. That Sword of Truth and Justice returns and equips for free. Protection from Elspeth and her tokens. Rough. How much mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I will play Elspeth. I will pay 5 life. For anybody wondering, Amy, why not play the Seed Shark first? Okay, so I actually do have a reason. I am going to Otawara. I'm going to Otawara the sword or the Danitha, depending on what else is going on. I'm just going to bring out the blue right there. Yes, Otawara, despite being a land that taps for blue, is colorless. It is an ability. It's a channel. It's weird. Also, it can just hit swords. He still has first strike. Yeah, spend all the mana. These abilities can be really good. Yep. She untaps. She was already untapped. They attack Elspeth and I throw her back into their hand because they spent their entire turn equipping her. Now, I could have also, like on the previous turn, bounced the Sword of Truth and Justice and killed her. But I like this. I feel like it messes around. Sets me up well to swing in the air. Also, I'm going to pay so much life. I'm about to pay an embarrassing amount of life. Okay, so I'm actually going to play the Signet first and say no. Then I'm going to play the Virtue. No, wait! I want to make 2 8/8s. It's worth the life. It's worth the life. Gargos, Vicious Watcher. This is going to be fighting things and discounting your Hydras because mono green Hydras get huge fast. I have a little bit of removal and ramp in this hand, so I will keep this. And Elspeth will also be able to get rid of some of the non-X cost Hydras like Gargos, but not a lot of the other ones. So they can target their own creatures with spells in order to get this Gargos fight. And I expect that we're going to see that. We're going to see giant Hydras fighting things, except my creatures are mostly tokens, so they're not super high value, but they can always kill Grahatia. I'll have to be careful about casting them. Ooh, Fanatic of Ronus. Because of the sheer amount of mana this can produce, I am going to get rid of it. I have nothing to proliferate here. No counters, no planeswalkers, and they'll be able to bring this back in 2 turns anyway. It'll even be better then. Baltic Banner. Their green things get greener. Basilisk Collar. Chromatic Lantern. I'm not playing Grahatia yet. I'm actually feeling I want to lead with Elspeth. This has no mana value, so I can't destroy it with Elspeth. But I can Void Rend it. Next turn, they should be able to play Gargos if they have another land. No, it's Toski, indestructible. And now Death Touching. I suppose I could steal Toski, but I really don't think I need to. So I won't. Yeah. So I won't. Elspeth. This is my token doubler, one of many. I have another one in my hand. I can't destroy, but I can make cheap blockers. And Sink into Super would be able to bounce things back into hand. I'm just not going to. What's this? Mana values of token copies match what they copy. They do, except for Eternalize, because part of Eternalize's text says it has no mana cost. I know. They're just messing with you at that point. A fight rigging. Does this also trigger on abilities? No, just spells. They're gonna be growing Toski. So far, we've just seen, like, big green things, but we haven't seen any other Hydras. Yeah, I expect the Hydras because Hydra spells cost 4 less to cast. Yeah, the reason why stealing this immediately isn't that exciting to me is actually because it has to attack each turn, and it's not going to be able to attack through Gargos. I'll chump block with one of these 2 tokens. If it deals combat damage to me, they'll get to draw a card. Also, if I steal something else, I can potentially have 2 of it because of Elspeth or Mondrak. So I'm going to actually do exactly that. I'm going to grab Evolution Sage. And I have 2 of them. And then I'm going to put counters on all the creatures and make them fly. Then I'm gonna crack open this land. And proliferate those counters. And proliferate the counters on Elspeth. And then proliferate again with an experimental augury. I'll take the Caretaker's talent. And they're going to leave. Because stolen goods being doubled is double the fun. Raphellos, Lanor Emissary, taps for absurd amounts of mana. I have the ability to kill him once, and I wish I could kill him 10 more times. Raphellos has this problem of only costing 2, tapping for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tons of mana. And my ability to, like, remove him and keep him out of play is so difficult because they play other ramp pieces and then just good big green ramp cards, like the cards that they've ramped into. Hi, Raphellos. I wish you didn't exist. I am going to obliterate you. Wish this cat could be in play to see it. And Gwenna. See, more ramp pieces. I could go for Grahatia here. Yeah, gotta pay my life now, so I can save it later. Who knows? Maybe I'll get the kitty cat duo all lined up here. Monkey. Yep. Big monkey. They swing in. I'm not blocking. Number go down. Shame, that means less life I can play. Yeah, you know what? They're gonna be able to destroy my virtue if I do that, though. Oh, man. Doesn't matter. Ishtola. Somebody who is stepped away from Brawl is like, wait, there's Raphellos in Brawl? Yeah, he's banned in Commander and Dual Commander, and he's here for some reason. He's on the reserve list. He's annoying. So Silverback Elder, probably getting them just more land. Once I play these, they'll use it to destroy that. Hi, Thrun. Thrun the Untouchable. You think he's beautiful? I think he's cute as, like, a man. I kind of like this digital cleaned up art. I'm used to seeing Raphellos in smudges and bludges. Okay, so I'm gonna lose life, which will draw me a card, but also oof, ow, owie, my life total. Do I have anything non-creature that costs 3 or more that's not this? No. Man, that's fun. They just cast their commander and destroy it. Look, I lost 5 life. I wonder who did that. Gee, it sure is losing 5 life around here. Hey, Rafellos, by virtue of loyalty. They can use this mana, I believe, for creature abilities if they wanted to, like, give something trample with Ronus. Indestructible. Indestructible. Destructible. I do, I think, have to block with Grahatia. As far as I know, they can only activate it once. Grahatia, give your life for me! What? Oh, I guess it didn't matter because I double blocked there. Okay. Yep, bring you back. I lost 10 life. I get card draw. Thanks, Ishtola. She's like, yeah. I'm helping. You are helping. Thanks. These lands all hurt or come in tapped. Trying to think if I have a good way to trigger her and do this. I don't. Dang. Yeah, I have a lot of my 2 mana spells in hand, but not my 3s. You think we should just put, like, more cat ears on them? I mean, I like the idea. I like the plan. More cats, you say? I don't get more cats. I didn't gain any life. I'm gonna die here, because remember, they can give trample to anything other than Ronus. Thrun already has trample. But this is me dying. They can give 1 or 2 extra power, or give Gwen a trample, and I'm out. Good game. I'm happy I was at least able to, like... At least I was able to kill Rafellos once. And you pay a lot of life. I love paying life. I'm really into it. I think it's a hoot and a half. GG, Rafellos. Ulalek Fused Atrocity. 5 colors of Eldrazi who get themselves and their abilities doubled. I have a little bit of kind of slow ramp here. I have the ability to clone something, reanimate things, and gain some life with Sorin. Fingers crossed I actually do get to gain life with Sorin. Shadowy Backstreet, I actually will absolutely keep that. Ulalek costs 5 mana, and you need to have 1 of each color or colorless for it, which is pretty unique. I think it's the only card that's formatted like that. Ulalek. Fused Atrocity. And a Ghost Vacuum. Listen, I've run into enough, like, strip mine loops that I'm just like, I need instant speed ways to hit cards from graveyards. I actually haven't hit that many strip mines with Grahatia, but I have hit them. Ooh. Wow. Okay, so Ancient Tome into Ring of the Lucite. They have so much mana here. I'll play Grahatia, Chrome Mox, pay 0 life. And then, do I want to exile to steal their commander? Or do I want to set up for lifelink? I'm actually just going to do nothing. I don't need to exile. I just want a free boy. I love pay 0 life. Yeah. Because, like, they're still a turn away from this. Thanks to Curse of Silence. I don't feel any pressure. I just want to make 1/1s. What kind of monster are you? That's a Paradox engine. This is not even the first Paradox engine I've run into with this deck. Yeah, it's also like good against reanimation decks. It's a pretty like just generally good card. Ghost Vacuum. I wonder how much it costs. I think I have one in paper. Ghost Vacuum. Oh yeah, it's like $4. I imagine it sees a good amount of like sideboard play in standard. So Null Drifter is not actually that useful for me to steal because it has an on-cast ability. But yeah, I have a bunch of mana rocks. Like only one of them's doing a thing. But yeah, I think I could use Paradox Engine. That's mine now. I am the Paradox Engine gamer now. And though I've paid life, I'm totally gonna gain it back. Isn't that right, little cat man? He's a cat man who do. Fractured Identity is such a ridiculous card. Alright, so this has hexproof from each color, which means I'm not gonna have good answers for it. Annihilator 1. Oh no, my Chrome Mox, that's not doing anything. Ah. Oh, right. I forgot we're doing this garbage. Untap. Yes, of course I'm paying for a life. And I'm killing the Glaring Flesh Raker. This untaps anyway. I'm going to exile that from their graveyard. Fatal push this because it is able to block. Swing in with everything. Gain the life. If they block Rahatia, we bring it back from the graveyard. Number, go up. GG. Golos, Tireless, Pilgrim. A 5-color good stuff commander that casts spells for free. Well, I'm going to cat spells for free. This one, specifically. I will use Chrome Mox, but Void Rend in jail. That taps for all of my colors. And here's Ocelot Pride. And that's the little cat. What a good kitty. People are asking, why is this matching so high? It's because it's Esper and just Esper decks, even if you're not running like full-on Esper control, like I have kind of a hybrid deck here, are super powerful. Esper has access to counter spells, kill spells, stealing, exiling. So much card draw that it can be hard for a lot of other decks to compete against it, even if your deck is not very optimally built. My deck is not very optimally built to maximize what these colors are doing. That actually gets me the Elspeth next turn, so I'll keep that there. My deck is a weird, like, hybrid tempo deck. Oh, okay. I'll get a land. Sure. Thanks for the mana. Maximizing cat ears. When I first started building this deck, I remember I was like, oh, it could be like Grahatia Crime, or it could be tokens, or it could be super friends that make counters. There's a lot of things that work out. You can make it a proliferate deck because of the counters that are on these guys. Okay, so they're protecting themselves for a turn. I love that I just got a Mondrak. I'm not playing Elspeth this turn. I think I play Elspeth next turn. And if I need to make this indestructible, I can sacrifice those. Golos, is it time to come out? I need all my token doublers. I need more. More! Hi, Golos. Golos gets a land. I can't wait to pay life. Look, I got life to spare. Honestly, Ristic Study might be good against Golos, but I need this. I guess I could just kill it. Like, yeah, making 8 1/1s is good and all. But what's the point of having 8 1/1s if they're going to cast a billion spells for free? I have lethal next turn anyway off of Elspeth's 0. Or just, like, attacking. I don't know what you're doing, but it can't be good if there's a Thassa's Oracle. There's no Tainted Pact, don't worry. That is banned here. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars, and thank you to Yonlance for requesting Grahatia as part of my subathon over on Twitch. I have been streaming for 19 days continuously, with 12 plus hours of streaming a day, and as part of that, people have been requesting certain commanders, and Grahatia, the backup commander from the precon, was Yonlance's pick. Grahatia is pretty cool. I feel like this is a 3-mana commander that people do not kill on sight because he's not that scary, but the cards around him are very scary. It turns out Esper cards are good. Also, thank you to my Twitch chat for introducing me to the character through the cutscene advertising one of the expansions of Final Fantasy XIV. Yes, he sure does eat a taco in it, and now he will forever be known as Taco Cat, at least to me. This deck, though, I think that it runs decently well, and a lot of it's because just Esper cards are good. Esper cards give you a lot of stuff, and they combine well with Grahatia's abilities to make huge counters and hopefully win you the game. If you're looking for the deck list, you can find it in the description. And if you would like to stop on by Twitch, twitch.tv/Amazonian is where I'm streaming. I might not be streaming for the next few days, though, because I am going to MagicCon Atlanta. So if you're going to that convention, hopefully I will see you there. On Saturday, I will be a part of the Actually live show, so I guess I'll be doing some trivia. I don't know if it's Magic the Gathering trivia. Maybe it'll be Avatar: The Last Airbender trivia. I really hope it's not Spider-Man trivia, because I'll just talk about the lizard the whole time. That's all I care about. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.